Today I want to talk about how I balance my life with trading. I'm not your average trader. Only about 9.5% of traders are women. And in fact, only 5% of professional traders are women. One part of the statistic that I do align on is that I am a homemaker, and the majority of women that are in the market are homemakers. This could be because they identify as homemakers because trading allows them to stay at home, or they were originally homemakers and they decided to become traders. Taking care of children and a home is often tedious, kind of daunting work. No one really likes the idea of being thought of as only as good as changing a diaper or doing laundry. Those sorts of things we don't value as much as a society, and subliminally we tend to feel lesser because we put our entire lives and all of our energy and our entire minds into doing those things to the best of our ability. As a homemaker most of my adult life, I found myself really needing an outlet for my creativity, for pushing myself to challenge my mind. A lot of us who have stayed at home for many years feel kind of like we've lost some of our intelligence or our knowledge or our power. A lot of us look for outlets to grow that, and trading is definitely a place that's a really enticing thing. I was out of the workforce for about 9 years as I birthed and raised my children, and I only went back to work in the 10th year because my husband at that time ended up going to jail. A funny, not really funny story. So it was kind of a necessity for me to return to work, and I found myself loving that environment. My marriage had been really rocky, and so likely the reason I loved going to work so much, even though it was extremely hard, I was going 6 days a week and only had time to do what I needed to at home on Sundays. And I did everything at home still. When I had the opportunity to go to work and to remind myself that I'm a very intelligent individual and I can learn quickly and I can adapt and grow, that was a really wonderful time for me because it allowed me to see into who I was again and not be stuck in this mindset that I wasn't capable of those sorts of things. Trading allows for more upward potential movement in your career path than most desk or 9-to-5 jobs. It ends up being a greater reward, and if you're going to be putting in your time anyway into a career, you might as well do it in something that has the best potential. That is why I think it's a draw for people that already have a lot on their plate, like homemakers. It all comes down to time management. If you know this is a struggle for you, then I would suggest that before trying to become a trader and jumping into the market, that you really work on this skill. Good time management allows for a calm state of being. As trading is 90% an emotional mastery, this will give you an edge that will keep you from making all kinds of dumb mistakes. It's important to work on the habit of putting the things in your life into the most effective part of your day. For example, if you know that you have a really hard time getting out the door after noon to go to the gym, you spend a lot of time trying to convince yourself, well then never ever allow yourself to wait until afternoon to go to the gym. If you know that you are going to turn off your alarm in the morning and want to go to sleep for another 30 minutes, then do yourself a favor and set your alarm twice so that you can. Having a schedule is mandatory. But wait just a moment, because if you're saying I don't do schedules, I actually have a loophole for you. I don't do schedules exactly either. Often I don't put anything into a very specific time slot in my day. My schedule is a more general order of doing things. It works extremely well when things have to shift or be added. I have some wiggle room, and it allows me to feel less anxious about those changes. This basically happens every day with a 10-member household, so it was extremely important for me to find a way to be more flexible but also keep to my schedule. The most important part of my day is my morning routine. I'm up at 5 a.m. before everyone else in the house, except for my husband. We both work on getting things done, such as those little nagging things that need to be accomplished before I get out the door. I make my coffee, I fold some clothes. This allows me to have less nagging at my mind as far as to-dos, so that my brain can be focused on trading. It's also really quiet in the morning before everyone else gets up and starts to run around. This quiet acts as meditation for me and allows me to center myself so that I can maintain focus and relaxation throughout my day and not be overwhelmed by what there is in it. It is definitely the thing that makes my day go from rush to ready. One habit that I have that reduces rush in my life is that I plan out my errands so that I only leave the house when I have to. This means that if I'm going to be picking up the kids from school, I group my errands around that time and I'm not rushing out several times a day, taking precious time away from other things that I need to be accomplishing. To aid in this, I keep a very detailed task list on my calendar on my phone. I also write it out on a planner, and I do this because I don't want to be referencing my phone constantly. The moment something needs to be added to this list, I put it in my phone, and I check it every morning to make sure that both my paper and my phone are in alignment. Trading is where I do use specific times in my schedule. I'm at my desk by 6:30 every morning so that I can have enough time to look over all of the stocks that I've been watching and to pay attention to what is now moving that day. I am always ready by 7:25. I live in Utah, so my time is 2 hours behind the East Coast. At 8:15, I need to take my kids to school. So by that time, I've already finished up my trading. I will often set brackets in order to keep my trade going if I have to leave earlier than it's over. Luckily, my husband can do everything between 7 and 8 a.m. Sometimes my husband is called into work early, or there's an appointment that I have to take the kids to during that time. When I try to fit my trading into 30 minutes or 20 minutes in the morning because I need to get out the door to something, I often make mistakes, leaving in orders, for instance, and I'll end up with losses that were unnecessary. So I do myself a favor and just don't trade on those days. You absolutely do not want your emotional state to be frantic when you have real money on the line. If this is to be your career, you need to make the best plays with the best risk management. I don't want to add to my risk just because I have an appointment. Going hand in hand with this, I don't really think about trading when I'm done with trading. If I have a trade on with brackets left, I know that I'll need to check on it later, but I don't really think about trading when I leave. This helps me to focus on my life and to balance between the two. It used to be that I would think about the market and wonder if I was missing the greatest play of the day. And there's some huge movers that I've heard about later that I get pretty frustrated that I missed out on. But I know that there will always be another in the future. I stick to my opportunities in the morning, and I know that whatever happens in that amount of time is for me. When I think as if the market is something that I'm missing out on, I find that I have difficulty focusing on what I need to do in life. It can be a little misleading sometimes if you're paying attention to gurus. It seems like they're always looking at a stock and they're paying attention to every move. But what you need to keep in mind is that these gurus are creating a career on top of trading. It isn't trading itself that they're doing. Teaching requires that they are there far more than the average trader. But we can all choose the time of day that fits our schedule best and creates the best opportunities for us. That's the best part of being a trader. It's the flexibility. There will always be another opportunity, and you don't need to fear missing out. The whole point of following a career path that allows you freedom in your life is to live your life. I am super grateful that I can still be there for my family in the way that they need it and still pursue something that is extremely rewarding and valuable for myself. I hope you all find the same thing in your trading careers.